Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the God.
Hey.
Welcome on this Monday, April the 27th,
Yeah,
2026. Whew. Feels like a Monday already. Let's get it going.
it definitely does. Let's start the show.
First Sky Omaha. In the morning. Money. Once again, welcome back. Fresh edition, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the God. We're trying to get it together this morning on a
Yeah.
Monday, April 27, 2026. Rough morning for us. I'm very, very sick. So I'm going to just tell you right off the bat, not feeling well at all. If the energy's low, I apologize in advance. But we're up, making it happen. We got a special show today. We have a special guest coming on today. And she's been on the show before, but it's time to talk to her again because the fight continues for Amir Locke.
Yeah.
Amir Locke's mother, Karen Wells, will be on the show a little later on in the show, so stay tuned for her. There's a movie that's happening tonight over at Film Streams that we're going to talk about that the family put together called No Knock, No Charge. And shout out to Film Streams for premiering this evening at 6
Man.
o'clock. Yeah, it's going down. We'll talk about that, the making of that, the fight that has continued on. Man, heavy stuff. If you happen to watch Sermon with Sherman last night, then you know you've already heard her and seen her talk to Sherman, and of course that's part of Sherman Wells' family as well. So it was a great episode last night. If you haven't checked it out, highly suggest you go back and check it out. There's a lot of stuff they got to talk about as family that you'd be able to tune into as well. And we're going to talk to her a little bit more about the fight and the film coming up. So between time, that's what today entails among other news of the things going on that we're going to talk about. Buddy, how you feeling this morning?
Man, I'm tired. I think I might be matching you in a little low energy today, y'all. It's a Monday episode. Definitely feeling like a Monday. So yeah. Bear with us. Appreciate y'all tuning in with us here on this morning. Let us know how your weekend was and all that jazz. But yeah.
Yep.
We're not 100% today, y'all.
Yeah. Like I said, I finally caught that bug. Got the sore throat. Got the whole thing going on. So yeah. Bear with
Been
me.
going around.
Going around. Mark Matter gives us a good morning. Appreciate you getting up this morning. Also, Pop says good morning, Monday morning, and mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops. Michelle Moreno says good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. We trying to make it a happy Monday. Good morning, fam. Good morning, Mama
Man.
God. How you doing? Sean McCarthy says good morning, First Sky team and Chimers. Man, you gotta let us know how the new job is, man. We haven't checked in with you yet.
Yeah.
What's going down with you? Also, Heather Williams gives us a good morning, everyone. Thank you. And Marlon Harrison says, good morning, First Sky family, and happy Motivational Monday. Yes, I'm going to be motivated to get through to the end of this show so I can go lay back down. That's what it is for me today.
He
It's gonna
tired, boss.
be
He
a
tired.
NyQuil day. Not a DayQuil day, a NyQuil day.
See what you did there. I see what you did.
Got to go back to sleep. In the meantime, tell us how your weekend went. You know how we do on Saturday. Let us know how your week, or on Monday. Let us know how your Saturdays and Sundays went. I happened to get out to the library on Saturday. So
Okay.
packed events, man. Mariachi bands playing inside. It's incredible. It's just incredible. And I found out that Star Trek Rich and Margie. Of course, we knew Margie worked for the library. Star Trek Rich is part of the team over at the library now. So it was good to
Okay.
see him out and about and announcing the bands that came up and all that. So I was like, man, it's good to see them. Also, what happened that day too was the poet laureate situation went down. The youth poet laureate happened. So I don't know if you happened to get out to this. This was actually held at the library. One of the first events at that library in that new room in the back, or actually off to the side when you come in the entrance off to the right side. Huge room for events, beautiful room, and then they held this National Youth Poet Laureate commencement over there that day too. We didn't get a chance to stay for that, but we did see them setting up for that. So it went down, and of course, the brother Daniel, I'm gonna butcher it this morning. Umemazi, the Midwest finalist. He was a finalist for 2026 National Youth Poet Laureate. and he is the National Youth Poet Laureate now. So shout out to him.
Okay.
Shout out to Nebraska Writers Collective, and yeah, shout out to the library. Went down. If you had a chance to go, let us know. I did see some folks in Friends of First Sky Omaha that said they went, so let us know if you went.
Man, speaking of the Love Supreme, it is some talented youth, in this country. Like I met a youth poet laureate from Buffalo, from New York, the New York
Ooh,
area. She was down at South by Southwest getting down on the mic. But man, some
love it.
talented people out here, man.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about it too much, but it was the month of I think it was like poetry, National Poetry Month or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
happened. So yeah, so I got heard a lot of radio shows that were featuring a lot of young folks too, yeah, and I was really impressed by the level of poetry in the country right now. Very
Man.
interesting. They say in tough times, good art comes out. So maybe that's what's happening. Sid Kelly gives us a good morning. Good morning. Appreciate you. Tisa Harden says, good morning, beautiful people. And it's a marvelous Monday, my birthday from Jamaica. Hey,
Okay.
right on.
Right near the beach.
He's right near the beach where I wish I was. That's
Man.
what's up. Appreciate you. Happy day to you day. Happy your day today too. And from Jamaica, no doubt. That's the first time anybody listened to us from Jamaica.
Right.
That's what's up. Appreciate
Doing it
that.
right.
RG says, morning, y'all. Appreciate that. Judy Prinsley gives us a good morning. Hey, hey. Also, Sean McCarthy says, "Get to feeling better, Paul. Caught the new library and the band's playing. Then I caught a few films at the Benson Film Fest. Nice. I'm glad
Nice.
you got out
Okay.
to see that. Yeah, lots of films that from California, New York, and Latvia. Really? Okay.
Mm.
Well, that Benson Film Festival sure has grown since they started, and I'm just really happy to see that going down and getting bigger. The vision was then, for them to really grow and become a good sized film festival and really kill the game in Benson. Man, there's a lot of people that are around that area that are filmmakers, and I'm glad they're spreading out all over the world too. So that's what's up. Yep, yep. Good times on Saturday. Good times. Weather was decent. And yeah, it was great. Let us know what you got out and did. Love to hear about it. I hope I don't know if I caught something there though. I know that. I know I
Mm.
walked off. I got home, started feeling funny. By this morning, I was like, yeah, I'm in trouble.
That's all
I'm in
she wrote.
trouble. But that's not going to stop me from going through some community updates. We got some things
Hey.
coming up. It is towards the end of the month here, so there are some things coming up in May. First and foremost, we have this week for us is special guest. We got a special guest Wednesday. Of course, Denise Powell's going to join us Wednesday, so we'll be able to speak to her too. Still, the race is on. Also, Amanda Kephardt's going to join us on Friday. Shout out to Film Streams, everything they got going on. That's what's happening. So, really appreciate them coming through as well. And then don't forget that we are firing up our content creators camp May 9th. It's going to come on us sooner than we
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So definitely taking entries right now for people that want to get down with us for this 4-week workshop. Or if you know anybody, let us know. Hit us up at firstsky.omaha@gmail.com and let us know if you want to be a part of what's going on here. We'll help you put together a project by the end of the 4th week. It's free. And yeah, if you want to be part of this news gang that we always are talking about, part of this citizen journalist army, then come on through. Let's get busy together. And it's all ages and all backgrounds and all levels come through and get a little 4-week workshop going with us every Saturday
Yeah.
morning. And I bring donuts and coffee when I do things. So
Oh yeah.
let y'all know.
We're gonna feed you.
Yeah, it's going down. So I appreciate that. That's what's happening with us. A lot of other stuff going on. Of course, May 8th is the 19th annual Rebuilding the Village Conference, Revive Black Business Expo. Definitely go check this out. Get your tickets. It's filling up fast. So you got to register and get busy over there too, most definitely. And then we already talked about it, but later on tonight, it's the film feature, 6:00. The doors are opening up, and she also I heard her on Sherman's show last night saying that this is also filling up. So get your tickets fast,
Mhm.
register. You can hit that QR code there. You can go to Film Streams and try to get your tickets there. But yeah, doors open at 6. Come through, talk to the folks a little bit before the movie starts at 6:30. And then I have a good conversation afterwards after the film is shown, and that's kind of top of mind today. I was hope I was going to try to make it tonight. I don't know if I'm going to. And
Yeah.
probably better stay home, not making nobody else sick. But if you happen to see this, then I highly suggest you get out and support the film, support the family, This is the best way to do that is go check this out. Shout out to Film Streams for putting it down. I will save some more of the haps a little later on today, or a little later on in the show. That is, we'll get to the today's thread in anticipation of our special guest, Miss Karen Wells, is coming through.
Hey.
So shout out to her and the family. She's bringing some family members as well. Some of the family members that were responsible for the film.
Okay.
And yeah, so yeah, aunts, uncles, all kinds of folks is coming through today. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, shout out to everybody who joined us this morning, buddy. Let's go ahead and jump into today's thread. What are we talking about today?
Yeah, man. Kind of picking up where we left off on Friday. Again, we're talking about the Deuce a little bit, a community buy-in, or what does the community need as far as businesses. This is the season to follow the money, so we're still following the money on today's episode. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this grocery store. I actually have some updates about what's going on the Deuce as far as who's really behind it. Shout out to our partners over at Heart Ministry Center. Also, um, this park, a lot of controversy, a lot of conversation, a lot of comments and thoughts around this Miller Park situation, and the Miller Park Neighborhood Association finally broke the news as far as the agreement being finalized with Miller Park being taken over. And again, kind of talking about community buy-in on today as we anticipate our guest Karen Wills. And again, one of the main conversations from that is community policing and ownership and investment in your own community. So definitely going to be diving into some of that throughout today. Also, speaking of investment, continue to keep our eyes on the streetcar situation and how it's impacting all of us. Really, actually, there's some news about some bills possibly going up. Still looking at what's going on with the utilities. MUD, of course, has been a part of that whole streetcar situation, as Mayor Ewing has explained to us several times that a part of the reason why the streetcar project has been taking so long, let's just call it what it is because of the infrastructure, MUD updating pipes and things like that. A lot of changes going on with utilities around the city, even to your own bottom line. So we'll definitely be jumping into that. And then also, speaking of the streetcars, some businesses finally getting impacted. Actually, one had to close recently as a part of the streetcar situation. So again, kind of following the money in that respect. Also, a little low supreme today. Of course, Ben, over the weekend, a lot of people, I'm hearing a lot of news about this Michael film. Just want to, in the second hour, get a little looser, talking about, again, telling our own stories, which is also something we'll be getting into with our guest today, Sister Karen Wells, as far as, again, the business of telling our own story, which is what we're all about here on Fresh Sky as well. We'll, get into a little Peacock Corner stuff as well. Speaking of telling our own story, and then also reminding the people, content creators camp is all about that as well. Again, if you want to tell your own story, that's what we got to do, man. We got to again get people in the community to tell their stories. So we pushing that as well as that's coming up, creeping up very, very soon. So if you haven't already reached out to us and you're interested for getting down, man, go ahead and do so. But in the meantime, between time, if there's anything we missed, feel free to drop into the chat. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. Of course, don't want to, get into Trump. What happened at the at the press rally and things like that.
Mm.
Yeah. But
Although
hey,
although Georgia Fort was scared and ran out, so that don't be messing with my Georgia Fort now.
hey. Apparently, Nebraska has some delegates there as well. So again, yeah. Hey, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. Again, let your mind be free. No, we're not gonna. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo.
15 minutes in. What's the word?
Yeah, let's take a quick break before we do that. Tisa Hardin's over there. Yeah, man. She's right near the beach.
Right near the beach.
RG said, yeah, as a resident, I'm still not a fan of the Logier arrangement. As time goes on, I got a feeling they're going to want more. I don't know where y'all getting this. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we got to talk about it.
Got to talk about it. Biko Kwanzaa gives us a good morning, First Sky Omaha. Welcome and peace, family. Appreciate you. Gary Clark in the house. What's going on, brother? Good morning to you as well. We'll take a quick break and come back and jump into the conversation. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God.
Hey.
All of you, ghost listeners, chat chimers, monitoring spirits. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
Wake up, 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 wake up. seems. This culture's not your reality. You better unplug or be a casualty. Cause the life that we losing, the drugging and boozing is keeping us off from our greatness. We gotta spread the love and stop.
My mic was down. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back for Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Yes, yes. Thanks for joining us this morning, and thanks for hanging with us. It is a Monday morning for us. We're feeling it in all
Man.
ways. Buddy's tired. I'm under the weather, but we're here, and we're here to have this conversation, get the conversation going. And of course, we already talked about this, but we have our special guest coming in, Miss Karen Wells, mother of Amir Locke. We got to talk about how this fight continues, and we got to talk about the film that the family put together that's happening a little later on tonight at 6:00 at Film Streams at the Mike Fahey Street, the Ruth Sokoloff Theater over there in North Downtown. So yeah, we'll be talking about all this and more. And again, we appreciate you guys getting up this morning. Do us a favor, share the show. Share the show on your page. If you are on Facebook, easy to do. Share the show on your page. Get as many folks in talking as we can. And also, if you are on YouTube, do us a favor and share the link to anybody who you might want to come in on the conversation. Excuse me. Hold on. Get this tech together around here too on top of it. Yeah, man.
Did we mention it's Monday?
One of them days
Man.
going down. In the meantime, let's go ahead and jump in, man. Let's jump into the conversation. That always helps everything when we jump into the conversation. What's going on?
Get it flowing, huh?
Get it going.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is a conversation, really one big conversation as we, try to break down the layers and connect the dots and really figure out what's what, or at least how we feel about it, what we can do about it. And yeah, we're gonna pick up right there, man. Continuing again, welcome for everybody joining us. If you missed it on Friday, we had it's pretty spirited conversation actually, talking about again businesses in the community, what businesses we might need, and how the community can respond and react and relate to these businesses. What would we like to see out of these businesses? And this is a question that, again, I've been trying to figure out myself. Like as we're having this conversation, especially in this season of Follow the Money, as I've explained, it's not just about what the government is doing with our tax dollars, or what we're doing with our bottom line, but what are we all doing together with our dollars? What's the ecosystem that we're building? What do we want to see in our communities? And this is, again, this first story is something going in that direction for me, but let us know how you feel about this. Let's definitely have the conversation and get more news coming out about this North Omaha grocery store that's set to be on the Deuce. We're really 25th in Lake, but still same area right there, around where we call Peacock Corner, which we're getting into. But again, it is a pretty massive situation. 20,000 square foot store set to be there. It will employ about 30 people and provide accessible food to an area considered a food desert, quote unquote. Because Paul, I know you got some feelings about that. But again, we've talked about this before, but as we're getting closer to this actually becoming a reality, more news coming out about who's behind it. Again, as I mentioned, shout out to, first of all, my fam. Shout out to my cousin Anita McGaw, being featured in the story. Actually, saying I think it's excellent because a lot of people don't have transportation, so they be able to walk, which is something that I mentioned in our conversation about this. As far as again the concept of a food desert and what it actually means, what it actually looks like, especially for those who are transportation deficient, if you will. But again, cousin McGaw also goes on to say, "Oh my gosh, it's terrible. Chubbs was open and closed, I think, right before COVID. And we have to go to Saddle Creek to Walmart or Family Fair, Baker's, to get groceries, and it's a drive and it's traffic. And so again, could be a barrier for those again who don't have transportation to get to a decent grocery store, like even in Aldi's. That's kind of relatively close right there on 30th. But again, if you live in the 25th, 16th area, could be a challenge. Again, shout out to Dominique Ron, who's the CEO of Heart Ministry Center, who was again behind the project, saying this is something that we've got to get right, because people are relying on the Heart Ministry Center They're also relying on the grocery store. He says this is a food desert. Again, this project is expected to bring jobs also to the north side, about 30 jobs, as well as access to good food. And I will say, emphasis on the good food situation. I actually did a story several years ago on the pantry system at Heart Ministry Center. And actually, when we have when we had our content creator camp last year, it was on the same day at the same time that they had their pantry situation. So able to see it firsthand. It's a pretty robust system. So I'm expecting, if they're going to do a grocery store, I'm pretty sure that they can handle it with just some of the access that they have to food, quality food, and really some of the space that they need. It's almost like an expansion of what they're doing of their pantry program. It's pretty robust, if you will.
Mhm. I don't know if we can call it an expansion of the pantry
Yeah, yeah,
program,
yeah. Right,
but
right.
they have been in food, and they do, and contrary to popular belief, pantries do get food, like food from stores and stuff like that too. It's not just all donated or big bulk from other places. They do get stuff out of stores, and some stores donate. Whatever their arrangements are, they do get new food, and some of the stuff you can get at the grocery store same time too. But so they've been in the food game for a long time, man. Shout out to Dom and everybody who's been doing the good work over there. They're one of the biggest pantries in the area in Omaha, actually. So Omaha and Iowa, actually. So
Yeah.
and they are right there on 24th Street, right across the street from Culture House. So in that way, when I think about what Black Men United are doing with their pantry up on 30th Street, and what Heart Ministry is doing with their pantry on 24th Street, there's definitely food around. And then also, when I think about where the grocery stores are that people go to, they still go to Baker's on 30th. They still go to Walmart on Ames. They still go to Aldi's on 30th as well. And then at one point they were trying to make that Fair Deal, in the Fair Deal Village. They were trying to make that store a little bit of a store where you can get some fresh produce as well. It didn't last. Somebody came in there and turned it into a liquor store, basically. But before that, they were trying to have a little bodega there where you can go there and buy a few groceries here and there. So there's always been a need. They talk about a need. I'm thinking about where it's at on 25th Street too. I think a lot of people that would walk to that live around the area, which you kind of know there's not a whole lot of housing around that area. I think that people are still gonna have to drive to it mostly for it to even thrive and survive. But there is some options for people that are a few blocks away to be able to walk to it, which is like I say, I feel like they use that term a lot, food deserts. Even though when I said that last time, we got the definition had to do with whether or not you can, if it's a mile away from where you live, so you can
Hmm.
walk to it. So there's some actual definitions and um, breakdowns of what a food desert actually is and why that is the case. But the reason why I think is significant is because Heart Ministries is a nonprofit organization. So this is a nonprofit organization opening up a grocery store, which I don't know if I know any other situation like that. I don't think I've heard of that before. So it's interesting to find out how that works. This is follow the money season. When we have
Hmm.
Dom on, I'm definitely going to ask the questions because maybe this is an opportunity for more nonprofit organizations to open up grocery stores in food deserts. Maybe this is something a pioneering thing. I'm not really sure. I have to kind of look around in other states and see what people are doing, but it is different. It is different, and most people that are talking about it says that it's needed. So,
Man, and that's really the big question for me. Well, big questions, two of them, as far as what type of businesses and organizations would we like to see in our community, and if it's something that we would like to see, are you willing to buy in? Again, there's things that we both feel. I just call it out like the Inland Port Authority. I feel like this is something that we as a community should be buying into, but
mhm.
that's not always the situation. As far as just people's personal perspectives and opinions on whatever's going on. So what is it that you would like to see? Is this something I have seen a few comments on Friends of? Big shout out to those of you who do continue the conversation on our group page. Again, Friends of First Sky Omaha on Facebook. Tap in if you haven't already. But yeah, people are asking who's going to own this. Ownership is a part of the conversation. And I mean, it's a valid question. It is a valid question who's going to own it. But again, I bring up the pantry system at Heart Ministry because and again, I do thank you for clarifying it. It's not necessarily like this grocery store won't be a pantry. Like you don't just pull like this will be an actual grocery store. I just said it's an extension by the means of they already, to your point, have a ecosystem, have a logistics as far as food delivery go, and no shade to any other pantries, but I have been in like I get care packages and things from like family members who are part of the VA, and
Mm.
this is a different situation. The VA, you might get you some canned tuna, some government peanut butter, some things like that. Hey, our ministry giving out steaks, they giving out chicken, they giving out fresh.
Fresh produce, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, fresh vegetables, full fruit, a good variety. You getting bell peppers, and it ain't gonna rot on you in 2 days. Like you getting, you know what I mean? You getting good stuff. So,
Right.
I'm expecting the same from the supermarket. That's
Yeah,
all.
and because we that's what we did find out is that Heart Ministry is the owners. So
Right, right.
when I feel like that, knowing that they're partners of ours, knowing Dom and everybody who's over there that's working, I feel good about it. First of all, I always feel good about growth in new building,
Hmm.
new infrastructure in especially in around the Deuce area, of course, and anywhere in North Omaha, but especially around the Deuce. So I feel good about that. And then there was a big question: who's putting this together? I was hearing some other
Young
nonprofit
Bucks.
organizations from other parts of the city, and that was what I was told. And then when I got the news that it was Heart Ministries, I breathed a sigh of relief myself. Like well, we know how they do business over there, and they down for the people for real. So
Hmm.
I'm happy that it's Heart Ministries. I'm happy that to be able to speak to Dom about it when we bring him on, and I'm happy that there's a store right there. I'm just I don't see any negatives yet, and I'm also very interested in how a nonprofit organization runs a grocery store. I think that's an interesting feature as well. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Sid Kelly says I'll be shopping there. I appreciate that. Because that was definitely actually that was my last thought on this. Again, is a community buy-in. Are we going to shop? Are we going to support? And it's not just this grocery store, but don't look yet. But the Deuce is coming back, man. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, dude.
have you been down to the visitor center? You know what I mean? Are you going to the hoop or watch people play at the basketball courts on the weekends? Have you been to the culture house? You know what I mean? Like, hey man, let's tap in. Let's tap in because this is just a catalyst. This is just a start. This is just the gateway. If you pick up what I'm putting down, because there's more waves coming. I mean, we've been talking about 30th and Ames. That's on the way. There's no reason why we can't stop at Florence. You know what I mean? Like Benson. Like let's tap in and don't mistake all of that I just named. That is North Omaha. All of it. So
All of it.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. So
Let me tell you, man. Just a little side note. We got some players out here, man. I'm thinking about brother like Gary Clark. We got some folks out here, man, that are heading
yeah.
up some of this money coming in, some of the land and the areas of rebuild. I run into Gary Clark right down there at the visitor center. So they
Mm.
sitting right there in the Deuce planning things. You know what I'm saying? Like it's to me, I'm very excited about what's going on, especially in that area. I'm glad that we had committed last year to trying to be a part of revitalizing the Deuce in particular. It's a very important area. It's a historical area. As a matter of fact, I think they have a historical designation. They're also trying to make it a creative center as well. So there's a lot. There's also of course the BID Business Improvement District in that area. There's a lot happening, a lot of money flowing, a lot of building, and a lot of art in close to our hearts.
Mm.
The Love Supreme down there is thriving. The new jazz scene is thriving with Noma. The new art scene is thriving with Union for Contemporary Art. I love that I Be Black Girls on the block. There's just a lot going on right there. So I'm happy to see any new growth and any new affordable homes and businesses and places that we can do business at and also live. It's just a very important. I always call it the most important black corner in Nebraska because it
Yeah.
really is on all levels.
Actually, you and I were kind of having a conversation about like viewing it. I think that was you and I talking about the Black Wall Street and
Hmm.
how Black Wall Street started and what it is and comparing the Deuce to Black Wall Street. And it really is like one. First of all, what happened in Tulsa wasn't the only Black Wall Street. There were
Right.
plenty of wealthy corridors of, consolidated kind of self-contained black ecosystems
Right.
throughout this nation. And don't look, but again, the Deuce is a part of what's happening because that energy is also reviving in Tulsa. And again, shout out to the Empowerment Network. Say what you want about them, but hey, they doing the work and they've teamed up with the people in Tulsa. And there is a direct connection between what's happening on the Deuce and what's happening in Tulsa with the Black Wall Street. So again,
Word.
hey, we well connected, well respected. Get on
Yeah.
board.
Not to mention, it was that for us back in the day. All I ever hear about is stories about the Street of Dreams and how the Deuce was back in the day. It was the Black Wall Street. It was an ecosystem. There was a lot of wealth, and just like every other black part of town in the country, a couple things happened: riots, violence from law enforcement that erupted, stuff in the same
Man,
time frame, 69, the same time frames everywhere else in the country happened. Also, the freeway cutting through, breaking up the community.
man,
So here we are today, and in the optimism here that we have for it to bring it back to its to that and then some is here. And that's to me that's what really stands out there. I'm gonna jump in the chat real quick because this is kind of going off. I appreciate everybody
yeah,
coming in. Don 5478 saying good morning, appreciate you. She Mathis gives us a morning kings. Appreciate you. Thank you.
peace.
Thank you. Biko Quanta says, "What's the message mean on my brother's red hat? Or
It's
it's
actually, it's
orange."
actually orange. Yeah, I think the green is making it look red, but legalize being black, brother. Legalize,
Yeah, we tired of getting arrested for existing.
man.
Yeah. Tisa Harden says, NMEP scaling back, laid off staff, sad face. Tell us about that organization?
No more empty pots, man.
What? Oh, that's what you're talking about?
Yeah, man. Talking about the food desert situation, which I'm thinking also
Oh,
about where No More Empty Pots is. I mentioned Florence, but you got some Miller Park stories to get into too.
well, wait a minute. You talking about Florence, but No More Empty Pots is at the Highlander Accelerator, and they actually opened up a store with fresh produce several times a week. Actually, it was open all week at one point, and then they scaled it down to 2 days, and then they took over the greenhouse over there as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that you. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot all about that. That's definitely part of this ecosystem of the food desert around the area and what No More Empty Pots was doing. And it's really sad they laid off staff. I'm not really sure what the future of it is. I guess they did that so that they can keep things rolling. So we'll see if that means that there's still fresh produce and stuff that you can get from them there and their programs continue. We'll have to bring somebody on to see about that. But thank you for reminding me about them being a part of this ecosystem here for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Tisa Hart says, I love Heart Ministries. Yeah.
Man,
The team and staff over there are doing some really good work for sure. Biko Kwanzaa says, thank God for North Omaha getting a supermarket. Hear that.
man.
RG says, I ain't gonna lie, man. I haven't even thought about kicking it at the Bryant Center since the Connected Church did Sherman dirty. Yeah, I hear that. Every time I'm down there at the Visitor Center, I see brothers there. You can still get in there. It's not like you got to hop a fence. So I see brothers
Mm-hmm.
down there shooting around from time to time. But yeah, it ain't the same for sure. Alan Faison comes in. What's up, cuz? Says good morning, First Sky. Mark Menor says, I ate barbecue baked potato right there last week. That was amazing. One potato and barbecue. That's right there at the Revive Center.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to my man Jay Shannon. And so yeah, there's some restaurants on the Deuce that are popping up that are here that are happening. So that's what it is. I appreciate that. Also, Brother McGaw's in the chat. Good morning. He said, good morning, my brothers. Good morning to you.
Peace,
Appreciate
peace.
that.
What's up, cuz? I'm gonna be calling you. I'm gonna be calling you later.
Got to talk. Sid Kelly said, mismanaged funds, talking about no more empty pots. Like I said,
Follow them up.
before we speak on it, we definitely going to try to bring somebody on to talk about it a little bit because it is a huge thing in our community. So we appreciate you guys bringing that up and reminding us on that. Yeah, got to follow the money on this for sure. She said both places, 8500 North. Okay, so you're talking
Mm-hmm.
about there's still the one in Florence, but yes,
Mm-hmm.
Highlander celebrated too. Yeah, thanks for the reminder. Appreciate that. 7:34 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, let's take a quick break and we'll come back and we will continue to the conversation until we get to our special guest. Our special guest that we are anticipating is Karen Wells. She's the mother of Amir Locke, the brother who that was killed by the police in Minneapolis, and with a no-knock warrant. They just came up into the house and killed them, basically. So they've been fighting for justice, fighting for this no-knock warrant situation to cease. so that it doesn't happen to other families. And of course, if you know our family here, which is Brother Sherman Wells, part of the News Gang family, this is his family. This is Karen Wells. So his cousin Amir was Amir Locke. And so we are definitely closely connected with the family and closely connected with the incident here. And she's going to come and talk about it because there is a film that the family put together that they will show later on tonight at Film Streams at 6:00. No knock, no charge, the Amir Locke story. So get ready for that conversation. In the meantime, between time, we'll come right back and jump back into the conversation. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B. Whew, buddy to God.
We tired.
Man, it's a rough morning, rough Monday for us for sure, but we here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all.
Get ready, Omaha. Join us for the Omaha Freedom Festival, a free, family-friendly celebration of Juneteenth on June 13th at Miller Park. Enjoy free food, community resources, and family fun from 12 to 5 p.m. Play basketball, kickball, dance, activities for all ages. Enter for a chance to win great prizes. Download your free day pass now at omahafreedomfestival.com. Celebrate freedom, family, food, and fun. The Omaha Freedom Festival. Everyone's invited and everything's free. Step into history at the Omaha Freedom Festival with our Negro Leagues and Black Baseball Storytelling Series, a powerful celebration of America's baseball legacy. Join us Saturday, June 13th, 2026 at Gene Leahy Mall Pavilion. Hear from historians and icons as they bring the rich history of the Negro Leagues to life. Just download your free ticket at omahafreedomfestival.com. Don't miss this celebration of history, heritage, and America's game. Only at the Omaha Freedom Festival. We're turning up the heat for Omaha Freedom Festival's night concert with Carrie Hilson, Life Jennings, and R&B superstar and Grammy-nominated Nivea, hosted by Josh Jones and music by DJ Chain. Don't miss one of the biggest R&B nights Omaha has ever seen. Join us Saturday, June 13th at Gene Leahy Mall Pavilion. Doors open at 7 p.m. Concert starts at 8:30 with fireworks after. Tickets at omahafreedomfestival.com or in person at LaFleur's New Look Fashion. Celebrate culture, music, and community at the Omaha Freedom Festival.
Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, that's me. Buddy to God, that's him.
Hey.
Also, speaking of tickets for those concerts that we just showed you, we got some VIPs here that we're gonna give away here pretty soon. Get your affairs in order for June 13th. It's going down. Shout out to Freedomtainment, and we'll be talking to you about that shortly. Also, don't want to forget that we're going to keep talking about this. We're still looking for some participants, new participants, old participants. If you've been in part of this before and you want to do it again, you're perfectly welcome. Everyone's welcome here for the Content Creator Camp 2026. Spread the word. Classes are supposed to start on May the 9th. So we're still looking for a few more people to join this 4-part workshop. So just hit us up, firstsky.omaha@gmail.com. Or if you have any leads, anybody who you think might want to be involved here, you want us to reach out to them, let me know. We'll definitely do that. So shout out to everybody who has been part of the Content Creator Camps in the past. We've definitely built a family of folks through this. And again, this is us with our ability or our desire to create a army of citizen journalists. That's what this is all about. Hold the powers to be accountable, tell our own stories, all the very important things that have to happen, including continuing the conversation, which we're going to do now. Appreciate everybody joining us. Buddy, what's next on the agenda?
Continuing the conversation, just as you mentioned, looking at community buy-in and also this concept of private-public partnerships that we're actually probably going to see more of as these things expand in corporations. New enterprises kind of make their way, and also old enterprises doing new things, kind of as you mentioned, like nonprofits taking over grocery stores. It's kind of a new front as far as we're seeing in our community. So is apparently nonprofits, controlling parks, which is again a lot of conversation around Logier and their controlling situation of the Miller Park Trust, which again, shout out to the Miller Park Minnelusa Neighborhood Association. We all down with the neighborhood associations out there sending this to us. But the Omaha City Council, again, early last week, actually, on a 7-0 unanimous vote, approved transferring management of Miller Park, excluding the golf course and the swimming pool, noted, to the Miller Park Trust, which again is an entity funded by the Lozier Foundation, which apparently the Lozier family has roots in the North Miller Park area. Actually, I believe Lozier used to have a um a facility right there by where Metro is now. The pavilions spent, in excess of $6 million spent on the pavilion, walking trail, splash pad, dog parks, sports courts, etc. That equipment was deteriorating, according to this post from the neighborhood association, or has been poorly maintained due to chronic underfunding by the city. Our neighbors have mixed emotions. Some are delighted, some are anxious, some are angry. Which I would love to hear which one of those buckets you all fall in. But again, security upgrades are planned. Changes are already underway. Some of the equipment has been replaced or is currently being replaced, and there's more to learn. So again, if you're interested, I believe a few of you chat chimers live in the area or at least have ties to the area. If you want to know more or at least have your voices heard, you can pull up. There's a couple of meetings coming up. One is Thursday, May 7th at 6 p.m. That will be at the Miller Park Pavilion. Another one will be June 4th at the Northeast Precinct. That's right there on 30th Street. Again, 4316 North 30th Street. But again, you have a couple opportunities to have your voices heard. Paul, I know you kind of been close to the situation. You lived over there for a while. You actually went and looked in that situation a little bit. What say you?
Yeah, I've actually even spoken to some people those years, so it's pretty important to understand that for the most part, the neighborhood association and the neighbors are pretty with what's happening there. They do feel like there's some upgrades and some things that's needed, and if there's an entity that wants to come in and help with that in order to keep that place cool, then they're for the most part they're like cool. The ownership of the park is not being handed over to any organization; it's still owned by the city. And it is a partnership, so that's another thing that was very important for everybody to understand too. That it's owned by the city, and from my conversations that I had with those years, they didn't really have to do this. They're doing this out of the fact that they are invested in the situation there. They got the Mandela School across the street. Those kids go across the street to do stuff at that park all the time, and like you said earlier, they had some facilities and the families from there. So they got some. It would be just like you. You own a business, or your business has grown in the area that you were born and raised in yourself, and you want to give back to that community and do something about it. So there is some stipulations there. They don't just own the park. So there's a couple things that are there for that, and I think that anybody who wants to come in and enhance an area, I'm excited about that myself. I have read the comments in Friends of First Sky Omaha on people's concerns. There was people that are concerned that this could lead to some ownership of the park area. People are also really concerned that the parks aren't getting funded in the first place well enough in order to just the city do what the city's supposed to do, and that was a concern. Senator Justin Wayne, who we're talking about having on the show here pretty soon as well. Voiced some concerns about that too. Feel like this is some like an ownership type of thing, and there's more parks to come that are going to do this. But it's also important to remember there's other parks that are already doing this. There's already private public partnerships with other parks to keep other parks nice, like Memorial Park, for instance, and other places like that. So I was very surprised about like a lot of the things that are being said. I tend to try to listen a little bit more to the people that are surrounding the area and they're part of that whole park scene, how they feel about it, and what they understand too. That the neighborhood association that sent us the information is very knowledgeable about the situation. They've dug in, they've talked to folks, they've talked to the city, they've talked to Logier, they've talked to all the parties involved. So I tend to go off of what they're saying. That to me they're the trusted source because they're invested in it so much. So yeah, there was a lot of details that the meetings that I went to, a lot of details there. But one thing a lot of people are upset about though is that it seems like this deal kind of happened before the talks to the community,
before
they're
the
kind of
input.
letting folks know. Again, though, this is something that is that Logier Foundation is doing to give back. They don't have to do this. They're not in the park business at all. So, wasn't thinking of, why would I don't even know why you would be like, maybe we better check with the community to see if they want some money for their community. I can kind of see where they're coming from on some of this stuff too, but probably been a better idea to kind of get the public's feedback first. But that's a whole process, bro. People are chiming up that aren't even understanding the whole situation. Sometimes you got to like sift through all that kind of thing to get to what the truth of the matter is. Everybody kind of is very suspicious. A lot of underground, selling of the city going on here, but I don't think that's that way in that case. And we've also reached out to somebody from Logier to talk about it too. They sent us a person that is knowledgeable about it, so we'll be hooking up with them to have more conversations. But I am starting to see a lot of that conversation trail off to what it could be, what could happen with this merger and others that don't really know. The only one that gives me pause too, well, not the only one, but one of the ones that really gives me pause is former Senator Justin Wayne. What his argument is about it. I'm kind of listening to that like, okay, let me hear what he got to say about this too. He's been consistent with what it is that he's worried about here. And so, like I said, when we have him on, we'll talk about it. But I am feeling the same way I'm feeling about the grocery store. Any new investment into the area is good. And yes, there's a question about whether or not it's being gentrified or sold. From a company that comes from the neighborhood, don't feel like that. Feel like the neighborhood's gentrifying itself, which is kind of what we want here. So
that is one of the reasons I brought this up, is looking at that surrounding area. And, it's not quite Florence. Like Florence is still a little ways further down 30th. And you might not remember that specific area as far as the glory days of that. Like I'm talking about, when Broncos was over there, when Mr. C's was over there by Miller Park, when Ramona's was right across the street from Miller Park. Like it was a situation over there. I kind of grew up in that area, went to Belvedere, went to Menalusa. So again, there's some opportunity around there even still as far as businesses and what that area could be. And there's a lot of, business, a lot of homeowners over there, a lot of families. So it's a historic area and more conversation about what could be had. But I know we're getting long in the tooth.
And we will. Well, I'm getting long in the tooth. You still young. We will pick up that conversation in the second hour, so get ready for that. In the meantime, between time, we have our special guest waiting in the wings. We'll go for a quick break, and then we'll bring them in. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B, Buddy the God. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey.
We are dead serious about seeing the necessary changes through. And the necessary changes start with being honest and transparent. That begins with all of you here today and releasing body camera footage in the immediacy so that people can see exactly what is in it, good, bad, or ugly. But it doesn't stop there.
No-knock warrants was not designed to protect the lives of officers or community. It was designed to preserve evidence in the war on drugs.
I have blood on my hands.
Yesterday, you ran with the piece that he had a loaded gun. That does not justify Amir Locke being killed in cold blood by the SWAT team, by the MPD, being signed off by the St. Paul Police Department.
It didn't matter that Amir's name wasn't on the warrant, because we don't have a right to a name in the eyes of some in this country.
We would not be able to prove in court that Officer Henneman's use of force was not authorized under the law beyond a reasonable doubt.
This is what I would call the anatomy of a cover-up.
The way that they made it sound was like our son was behind a door and ambushed them.
When it comes to these no-knock warrants, it's one of the reasons why we advocated a package of reforms in conjunction with public safety measures. But this young man had nothing to do with the warrant.
Be prepared for this family, because every time you take a step, we're going to be right behind you. This is not over.
Lieutenant said this is the first no-knock warrant in St. Paul's executed this year. Is that true? They fought us to they would not let us do no-knock.
St. Paul was super violent.
PG.
And they made us do this.
Are you going to press charges once we show you that there's more evidence in the Amir Locke case?
Amir got a name. Amir has a name. His name wasn't on your warrant, but his name's gonna be in your law book.
Welcome back. For Sky Omaha in the morning.
My
name is Paul B. He's Buddy the Guy. We got some special guests in the house. Thank you guys for coming. We got Karen Wells, mother of Amir Locke, in the house, and also Andrew and Linda Tyler, family members of Amir Locke. Thank you for getting up early with us. Sometimes it's hard to get up very early for us. We having one of them Monday mornings where we like, whoo, it's early. So we appreciate you guys getting up and coming. How you guys doing today?
We're doing good, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
No, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for coming. Yeah.
We'll have a delay.
How you doing, Ms. Wells? You got a little bit of a delay.
Like
Yeah, if you're
a little bit.
Let me.
A little bit. It might work itself out. But if you're on your laptop, then make sure you got other windows and stuff closed so you can limit that delay as much as you can. But
You know what? Hold on.
We'll bear with you. Trust me, we do this. This is what we do. So it's like this a lot. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
Well, keep us going while she come back in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Let her work that out as she comes. Here she comes back right now. So there we go. Okay. So I appreciate it. Let us know. Let us tell our audience who you are and introduce yourselves for me, if you will. We've had Miss Karen Wells on before, but tell us who you are, Andrew and Linda Tyler, please.
So I'm Karen's baby sister.
Okay.
Okay.
I am. We were actually from Omaha, born and raised. So we the Morgans, and I'm the number. It was 10 of us, and I'm number 10. And so Amir was, of course, my nephew, and I tell this to people all the time. Amir was my kids before I actually had kids. I have one daughter, and so that's why it was personal when they took his life, but it became more personal because he was like my kid. So
yeah. When I'm Karen's baby brother, they adopted me into the bloodline some kind of way. So a brother-in-law, excuse me, and we're executive producers of No Knock, No Charge, the Amir Locke Story, and what Linda was saying, when our nephew was taken from us, we decided to take the body cam footage. Actually, Linda suggested it. We took the body cam footage. Initially, we were going to turn it into a movie, and then on the onset, we said let's turn it into a documentary so that we can enhance it a little bit more and explain what happened to him in detail.
Man, I hear that. I watched you guys. I watched Miss Wells on Sherman's show last night, and Sherman said that as soon as that first part of that movie played, he couldn't believe the reaction everybody had watching it, seeing that. So I'm really anxious to see that movie as well. I know it's playing tonight. We've already talked about this several times on the show. It is going to be playing tonight at 6:00. Shout out to the Film Streams for hosting this. Ruth Sokolov Theater. So I love it.
Can I say shout out actually to UNO because it was Dr. Cynthia Robinson, who's the head of the Black Studies Department. She's the one who's actually bringing it to Film Streams. We were actually going to do it at UNO, and she wanted to make sure that it was going to be open to the community anywhere, but she wanted to make sure more people were able to do it. So she partnered with Film Streams along with the social, the political science department and sociology and anthropology. All three departments are actually hosting us this evening.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow.
And then we also have Terry Crawford. She's going to moderate because the point is we talk about a lot of the laws that we've gone through since Amir and a lot of the laws we have won, cases we have won. And so some of the law students will be there tonight because what we're trying to do with the film is equip students with the knowledge and the tools that they'll need to be able to fight on behalf of other people of color who keep being accosted by the police
Wow.
in this country. So that's the goal.
I mean, I knew you guys was working on that, but I didn't realize like how far into, you teaching law, you trying to teach students how to fight. That's incredible.
Well, into it, it's a landmark case. Amir's case, when Karen says that, they're going to know my baby's name, we are now officially a landmark case in the Eighth Circuit court. I'm talking about the entire Eighth Circuit. So people can glean from that here in Nebraska, Chicago, Seventh Circuit. They can glean from that case to fight these corrupt officers and disqualify them from having qualified immunity, if you will.
Right.
Not only that, just being able to casually kill our brothers and sisters, and truth be told, and for the officials to be able to say, well, we don't want to press charges. They can be held accountable as well when it comes to Amir's case. And we've had an appellate judge say, why is this man not in prison? So the executing officer, why is he not in prison? So there's something to be said about our officials, be it black, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican, whatever their color, not bringing charges against people of color, not bringing charges against these rogue officers when they violate people of color.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you,
and, man, there's a lot of layers to it. And, of course, as being from Omaha, I'm sure, there's definitely situations that have happened here in Omaha recently, even down in No Knox, where this type of story could, help another family in a similar situation. But before we even get to the court battles, one thing that's near and dear to us is narrative storytelling. What happened, establishing what actually happened before you can even get into that fight. And I do know that there's another documentary, so I'm kind of curious why make your own documentary? Why do you feel like it was important that you yourself tell the story?
Do you want to do it, Karen?
well, basically, we want to tell the truth, and it's not us telling the story; it's the body cam footage of the police officers. So actually, they're telling the truth in the documentary about what actually happened to Amir, because they put my son out there. He was a homicide suspect. He was sitting on the couch waiting for them to be ambushed. All that was nothing but pure lies. And so basically it's like you have this documentary, but then you also have the other documentary, which they both actually came out on the same day in August of 2023.
Oh, wow.
So you have Sound of the Police, which is on Hulu at this time, and then you have our personal documentary, The No Knock, No Charge. And so Sound of the Police is basically starting to tell you where the police originated. They originated from the slave patrol, and it goes all the way up to 2022. That leads to the execution of my son, and then now you have our documentary where it's kind of like showing you this is what has happened and how it continues to happen in 2022 as well as 2026. So we wanted the truth. Like I wanted the truth out there. I wanted everybody to see and know what they did to my son Amir Locke on 2/2/22. My baby was asleep. He was up underneath a blanket when they shot him more than 3 times. Still had the blanket over his head. And never once even saw the officers, because I'm not going to tell it. You guys will see it in the documentary. My son never saw the officers that when they came in. He didn't.
You'll see the body cam footage say all that. Yeah.
You'll see everything. You're going to see everything.
Karen, I want to add to that really quick. The narrative that I have a problem with is justification. The officers, the officers, the attorney general, the chief of police, even all the way down to the people that were supposed to save his life in the hospital and everybody else, they deemed this initially as justification, like, oh well, he deserved it. And that's the problem that's going on in America today. They deserve that. They get what they get. I even have military persons that I'm friends with and work with say, well, if he had a gun, he shouldn't have had a gun. Well, wait a minute. You're for the Second Amendment. You talk all this crap about Second Amendment and all this stuff. Well, what do you mean he shouldn't have had a gun? Yes, he should have had a gun, and he was in the right place at the right time. St. Paul and Minneapolis SWAT team was in the wrong place. So the narrative that they pushed initially was that they, even in their police reports, they said Amir was behind the couch, crouching, waiting for them to come through the doors. And that's the verbiage that they used, like he was some crouching lion or tiger waiting to kill them. And all of those different narrative pieces, they fall by the wayside when we show it with the body cam footage. And Karen's right. We let them tell their own story. We don't coerce it. We literally do a timeline and let them tell their own story. Even prior to them knocking on the door, how happy they were and all this. Oh, I fear for my life. Crap, that stuff goes out the door. So yeah, and that's why we're at a Supreme Court level right now, and we have the I believe the tools. What do we call it? The fight for justice and the blueprint for justice for others to come in and be able to help their families.
Really appreciate it. I'm very amazed by the work that you guys done, and I got a question. We have had a hard time getting body cam footage for anybody around here. How are you able? And we're also filmmakers, so we also think about any piece that we want to put together too. That we would love to have the police body cam footage. Tell us how you got it, please.
Well, actually, I can speak on that first.
Okay.
So basically, myself and Andre Locke, Buddy, Amir's father, they actually emailed it to us. Well, through our attorney. So they emailed it to us, but we couldn't open it up. And so that's where Andrew came into play. And then he can explain on his side.
Okay.
Well, let me see. These jokers sent us.
And it was encrypted. I'm sorry. Let me go back and say it was encrypted, so we could not open it up. And so that's when Andrew came into play.
That's crazy.
And they sent it to the attorneys that way. They only gave us the clip from the news. So what I did was I went into, you guys familiar with Premiere Pro and Adobe Suite?
Oh, are we?
I went into
I'm sick of looking at it right now.
Yeah, I went into Media Encoder, and that was the only way I could open it.
Yeah.
So I had to go into Media Encoder, open it that way, and when we opened it, it was insane. So,
but I want to go back to the law. There is a law that they're required to give you the body cam footage, the family. So you, as a filmmaker, probably can't get it, but you could get it through any of the attorneys because, like Karen, because they're the parents, they're required to give it to them. That's the law.
Right.
And it cannot be edited when they give it to the parents.
No, it can't.
Normally they'll give it to us because we'll go through the Freedom of Information Act, but everything is redacted and covered up and all the rest of it. With the family, they have to give it to them. So when Karen and Buddy, they gave it to me, I was like, oh, okay, here we go. And that's our attorney.
God gave it to us.
Absolutely.
Actually,
Absolutely.
it was. This is all centered around we're being led by God. This is from day one. God gave us that body cam footage because a lot of families now they don't get the body cam footage, or if they do get it, they're missing something. It's been tampered with. So at the end of the day, when it comes to Amir's case, I will say this is nothing but God. Why we got all the what is it, 56?
56. Two of which we weren't able to open still. I couldn't get through to their firewall on it. But we still got all 56.
Can I go back to your comment about why do this and the narrative? Because you guys are storytellers. The narrative that you probably saw on the TV was a still pic of a gun, but you didn't see the story behind that gun. You didn't see that story. And it was in April that we were at the NAN convention, Al Sharpton's convention, when we got the news that they would not charge the officers in the case because of qualified immunity. And I remember looking at Karen was like, then we'll tell the story because we had our weapon, like you all as artists, our weapon is the camera. Back in the
Mhm.
60s, the weapon was the pen. Every time they went to the civil rights movement, they always had a pen and a piece of paper to document what was
Yeah.
going on. So, this day and age, our documentation is your camera, whether it's on your phone or whether it's in, you have this big, expensive camera. That's how we document stuff. That's how we tell the truth. And so, our job was to look at, okay, everybody kept telling their narrative, their story, because people kept commenting, calling me. Even our family member was like, they're saying this about Amir. I was like, but what do you say? I said, we'll tell the story. So when Andrew brought the camera, we could record everything, including Karen's interviews, because now we don't need permission to get the footage. We own it. So Tyler Man Films own all the footage because we were there filming during the time.
Yes.
And that's the important thing I need to tell people is that's your phone, your this,
Yeah.
that's your weapon today. That's
Right.
how we capture everything.
That's right. You are right along with us on that. We firmly believe that we teach people how to take their phone out and capture and hold people accountable. So I really appreciate that. I want to just mention for those of you that are listening that we have special guest Karen Wells, who's the mother of Amir Locke, on with us right now. We have family members Andrew and Linda Tyler, who are the filmmakers and family members of Amir Locke as well. You've heard us talk about the Amir Locke story before. We've had Miss Karen Wells on before. You can go back and look at that interview as well. And I highly encourage you to look at Brother Sherman Wells's show last night. They got to talking over there, and you get more of the story, more of the feeling of the family and things that are happening. And I know that Sherman Wells was cracking up when he said they're not qualified for the qualified immunity. You guys reached a landmark there where the judge, tell us what the judge said. Tell us what the judge did. Yeah.
I mean, so actually I went through, so there were like actually 3 hearings in the 8th Circuit Court. And I missed the first one, but Amir's dad was there. I attended the second and the third. And then they decided, so they have lost every last hearing, the
Wow.
city. They have not won. And so they decided to put in for a writ back in December. And in January, it was denied by the Supreme Court. So they've lost 4 times. So now I'm back with with the city, on the city limit, like on the state level, back in Minneapolis.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a process. So we're learning that this is just what they do. They don't want to just come out and just say, "Hey, we made a fatal mistake. Where do we go from here?" And apologize to the family. I'm not waiting and holding my breath to hear any apology, because that's just not going to happen. If it does, it would probably be the first time ever in history for them to apologize for what they did. But so that's where we're at. Like, it's back on the state level now. So we're still in the process of doing that part, but also we're still being boots on the ground, because Amir needs to receive all forms of justice.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like on earth, that's fine with me.
And I guess that was my question.
Pride goes before the fall. They're too prideful to be able to say, we messed up. They're not going to, because the argument was we can't charge this officer because of a law called qualified immunity. Then you have a judge who writes in his paperwork that this officer did not qualify for qualified immunity, which has never happened before.
Right.
And so the press was asking, has this even happened? And was asking the state, how come you guys didn't charge? And how do you feel about this judge saying that officer didn't qualify? And they couldn't answer. Well, based on the evidence that we saw, they didn't watch the body cam footage. We know that for a fact. And so the reason the judge was able to look at it and see is because of the film. Because the attorney took clips from this documentary that you'll see tonight, and that's what they used. And he was presenting that to the judge, and the judge is like, and the prosecutors was like, well, you should see what happened. He was like, I did see, and frankly, I'm quite disturbed by it.
Wow.
So That's the when Karen talk about these layers and levels of justice, it really is God's justice. Because sometimes it is so chaotic, and you guys got to know this here in Omaha and just across the country, it's so chaotic. We look and say, how can we ever break through this? We can't. So it has to be something bigger than us to break through. And I always equate Karen's story is this modern day version of Emmett Till. She's Mamie saying, listen, my son, I want everybody to see what these officers did to my son, just like Mamie did over 60 years ago when they had John Johnson print Emmett Till in Ebony Jet.
Man.
So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the digital version of it.
Miss Wells, we lost your image there, so if you want to restart, we'll wait for you to come back. If you can hear me,
Hello.
Yeah, if you can hear us, we lost you again. If you can restart your phone. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's working.
Let me go back. You want me to go back? Am
I
I
want
good?
just
Or no?
restart real quick. Yeah, I don't want to gloss over this point about this qualified immunity yet. I don't think it has happened. I've never heard it. I've never
I
heard.
want to touch on that for a second, and I'm going to touch on it tonight. I've been researching. I kind of had a Dave Chappelle moment. If you saw the show, and Dave actually helped me, believe it or not, when he talks about the Mann Act and he goes back to Jack Johnson and the origin of the Mann Act and how Puffy is charged for that. The Virginia 1669 Casual Killing Act is your original qualified immunity. It allows for now this goes to our search warrant, right? And I'm going to teach on this tonight. The initial no-knock warrant was a search for property, right? So it's a search for property. When an officer enters your dwelling, the entire unit becomes property. That included supposedly Amir's body and his cousin and his cousin's girlfriend that was in the unit. So there's something to be said about property. So when you go back to the Casual Killing Act of 1669, if you offended your so-called slaveholder or slave owner, they were allowed to kill you. This law was made up because white women were killing mixed babies. Hear me now, this is important. When America founded this particular law to protect the slaveholder, what it did was it said white women can kill you because you offended them, right? So with Amir having the right to reach for his weapon but not use it towards the officers, supposedly it offended them and they were allowed to kill him and get away with it. So the origin of qualified immunity goes all the way back to 1669 and prior to. So there's something to be said about property in America and them thinking that they own us. You do not own us. So that mindset, that horrid, wretched ass mindset that comes along with the thinking of law enforcement. I can't just label this to white folk because there's black, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican. I'm talking about the institution of before the slave patrols. This is during slavery. So that whole qualified immunity to protect themselves from what they were doing to us, be it alligator bait, castration, all the stuff that went along with chattel slavery. There is something to be said about these people having the ability to just say, well, we're not held liable. There's something to be said about that. So qualified immunity goes way back before the slave patrols, the Klan, and everything else. This was big business. And it was really about the jealousy of white women when the slave master would go in and have sex and they'd make these different colored looking babies. So that's what that really was about.
Bro, you dropping the knowledge on this. I've often wondered about that. You just made me realize we have not looked into what that qualified immunity even came from. It's such an interesting thing. And this is such a landmark situation. I have not heard. I've been doing news here for many, many years. Have never heard of a judge saying you're not qualified for qualified immunity here. That is huge.
Well, consider the mindset of property.
Hold on. That's why I think that even the city was shocked by it because they had never heard a judge say that. But again, the judges had never seen body cams. The attorney generals, they had never seen it. The attorneys in the case had never seen it. Many of our attorneys saw the body cam footage when they came to our screening in Chicago. That's when they saw it. Most of them don't take the time to look at it. We had to force them because we said, if you don't come and look at it, then we'll fire and get somebody who will. Then when they came, they was like, oh my God, they saw Amir complying and they saw all these things. Then they took it and that's what they use. And so that's what the biggest message is. You understand that. People don't want to read. People don't want to see either.
Yeah.
They want to be very quick to get through stuff. In order to be able to fight, you got to pause, take time, and look at what is going on so that you can effectively fight for justice. You can't fight on emotion.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I'm just sitting here trying to get Miss Wells back in. Thank you for breaking that down. This is, to me, this is the major part of this story.
I just wanted to make sure that it was really something that stood out, though. That search for property, the initial reason they went in the first place, 3 search warrants. They're looking for a firearm, and they kill Amir, casually kill him. So this goes back to the Casual Killing Act of 1669 of Virginia. So the origins of this country has always been Black lives don't matter. It really is true. It's very true. So when we chant that and we say Black lives matter, it's more than just a chant from the 2000s. Right. We really do matter to these people, but it's on so many different layers and levels, man. And to casually kill Amir and act as if, well, get over it. What are we doing? Right. What are we doing?
No, you're this is a great opportunity with the film as well. And just to remind people that we're talking about a film that you guys put together called No Knock, No Charge, which is happening at Film Streams tonight. Get there at 6:00. Film starts at 6:30, and obviously stay after the film and get some more knowledge, because this brother ready to lay it out. Brother Andrew, you ready to lay it out to the folks on this stuff here? I appreciate that. And for those of you that don't know the other film we were talking about, this is the one that Miss Karen was saying came out first and kind of led up. It went from Slave Catchers all the way up to 2022. And this is on Hulu, still on Hulu. And you can check this out too as a precursor to the film. And then after the killing, after the execution, they go even deeper and further with No Knock, No Charge, showing body cam footage straight from the police officers that has got everybody's mind changed, and the fight continuing there, and because of that as well. Miss Wells, I'm real sorry that we having technical difficulties with you there. I don't know if you're still there, you can hear us, then you can chime in with the audio anytime you want to too, so you don't have to keep on worrying about starting and stopping that camera.
I just want to say that as the mother and speaking out to other people, not only like what my sister said, like you have your camera now, your phones and cameras or whatever. You also have your voice. We've always had a voice that they want to silence. And as a mother, I don't care if you have to go to the Capitol, to the governor's mansion, to the mayor's office by yourself with a lawn chair. Be that voice for your child and your loved one, because they hate hearing us complain. They hate seeing us coming their way. But once they hear our voice, they cannot ignore it. So you have to be as loud as you can, no matter, even if it's you by yourself. Because I'm speaking from experience, but I also have a support group, and I have a team. I have my warriors behind me, which is the 2 right here. I have Sherman. I have plenty more. So I'm not coming by myself. I come equipped. And also I'm coming with God first and foremost. So that's something that you cannot stop, and that's something that they cannot see. And that's the power that comes behind us. So I'm just saying, as far as what you need to do, the first thing is don't give in. When they told me no. They told us no from day one. And they actually told me, and I actually told them, I said, well, you did your job. Now I'm about to do mine. And I left it at that. And that's what I've been doing ever since. I'm going to show you that are not by in the positions that they are already in anyway. And they're just trained robots. to just do what they need to do. Then you also have these people in the chairs that look like us, but they're not for us.
Mm.
So from day one, I'm just saying you have to be your own advocate first and don't take no for an answer, and then reach out to everybody, anybody and everybody. You're not by yourself. There's so many of us in here in this fight right now in this movement. You're not alone at all. If you don't know what to do, reach out to somebody and we'll tell you, because we're basically going to be the blueprint for what people have to do to get justice, or just keep fighting to get justice for their loved ones. That's what the blueprint is for this documentary. It's going to just show you everything.
Man, that's huge.
Can I say something really quick about Karen? Karen watched the body cam footage. Initially, when she watched it, they showed her the 15 seconds that was on TV and all the rest of it. And Buddy said he went in with her. This was the initial them watching it. But then she watched the entire thing with me, because I told her, I said, you have to be equipped as his mother. And I'm saying that because a lot of parents, a lot of family members, they won't watch what happened to their loved one. If you don't know, how can you defend them? You understand what I'm saying? Oh, and that's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow, including with my wife. This was her nephew. She was in the room when he was born. So for her to have to watch, for these two women to have to watch that, it does something to your soulish realm, but it also angers you enough to where you like the wind beneath your wings, and something happens. And there's something to be said about my sister where there's a fight in her, where she's saying, I'm going to get justice for my baby, right? And I'm going to let the world know about it. But you have to know what happened to your loved one. And that's important. So I wanted to say that for your audience. You don't just let somebody else watch your stuff and tell you what it is, be it the attorney or whoever else, because you'll never know what happened behind the scenes. It's a horrible thing.
And you ain't lying about that strength. I don't know if I could have watched it. So the strength that I'm thinking about, you guys have as a family to be able to dig in on that, incredible. I'm also sitting here thinking about this system of think about the everything that got lined up in order for something like this to happen, where that cop can just go in there and just indiscriminately, casually kill somebody. Because he got qualified immunity. Okay, everybody dropped off now. Wow. Okay.
There. You know when truth happens, things.
Hey,
everybody say that. I'm glad you said it, but that you ain't lying. We know we getting sabotaged all the time around here.
It's okay, because the one thing they don't want you to have is knowledge. Because if you have, it can be very powerful.
I hear that. But you see how we do. We keep on. We just come in and out. We look. It's happening again. I appreciate y'all though.
What were you just saying?
I was just saying. I was just tripping on the system that is laid out for a person to be able to do. Like that cop went in there. If the system wasn't set up to where he felt he could just go and indiscriminately start shooting and doing what he wanted to do, then he might think twice. But the system is set up so he know he got qualified immunity. He know that his sergeant and the folks above him is going to vouch for him. He knows that the court system is going to say that give him the benefit of the doubt. He know he's under the administration that we're under now. He got all these things set up for him just going and wildly just do what he wanted to do. And it's just interesting. I'm just thinking about all the steps in that process that you guys are battling now that was set up. It's not just we gonna get this cop arrested. It's the whole system that allowed him to come in here and do this got to be fought, including the qualified immunity. The whole like when something when we reported on some other stuff before, I thought of that. Like somebody gonna have to start fighting this qualified immunity. Somebody gonna have to start fighting that. So I see your fight is so much more extensive than just this case. It's incredible.
Just really quick. The Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association. This is more than the police union. This is more than the Minneapolis. I'm talking about for the entire state of Minnesota. Stepped in and took the case from the prosecutor. They took the case and went to the Supreme Court with it because they weren't satisfied with what happened on the appellate level. But God had his hand on this case. The Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association, they raise money for the police. They are more than the union. These are like the top 50 lawyers in Minnesota. And I'm talking about dogs, man. They come in and they are vicious. Nobody beats them. And took us to the Supreme Court. We didn't take them. They took us to the Supreme Court.
Wow.
And Karen and Buddy won the case in the Supreme Court. There's something to be said about this now. When you can get that type, I'm talking about, this is the organization that sweep everything under the rug. They go above and beyond. This is the top agency in Minnesota. And they came in and did their due diligence, supposedly. And so there's so many different layers to this. They never wanted Amir's case to go to the Supreme Court for qualified immunity. And they lost. So
And it's interesting because let me just say this. Karen had to drop off. She's still having issues, so she's not coming back in, just as an FYI. So you could show her picture, at the end if you want, but she just texted me. The interesting thing is you talk about the system. The movie is about the police, but it's more than about the police, because when you see the body cam, it's a systemic failure, from the EMTs to the coroner's office, to the police, to all of the administration. So that's the one thing that you see, because like you said, it is a system that is upholding the acts of the police. And so we're dispelling that. And so that is the issue, and that's the fight. You can't just fight one entity because it gets picked up from something else. You have to fight the system. And to your point, it's not us. That's how you know it's not us. We're not that good. You know that it's of God, because there's no way all of these things, to your point, lines up. It is of God, because they're like, wow, we get this. And to your point, the judge has never said that. It's all God, but it's all based on what they saw. And that's what you're going to see tonight. Based on what you're going to see tonight is based on what they saw. And what we wanted with the documentary, that's why we ran with that first, is we wanted a grand jury. We wanted to give the general public to be the grand jury, because they didn't give us one. We would have been okay if we would have got a grand jury and they saw the evidence and we lost, right? But they didn't even give us that. So we were like, let's just make a documentary, put it out there, and let the world be the grand jury and let the world decide. Because Minnesota is a castle law state. Amir having a gun is his right. Mm-hmm. It's his Second Amendment right, but it's also a castle law state, which means in your home, you have a right to defend your castle. So he was in his home. He was trained how to use a gun. He actually held it better than the cops. He did not point it at them. You see it all. And that is the problem. So what we need to understand is our rights, and we need to fight them on our rights. And that's what we're doing.
Even if you're not licensed to carry, Linda's right. You still have a right to own a gun in your dwelling for protection in the castle law. So you can have a shotgun, little 5-6-year-old boys. Sometimes you'll see them on TV. They be shooting with their parents and stuff. You're allowed to have a weapon of choice in your home, just so long as it's not sawed off or whatever. But if it's a legitimate gun to protect your dwelling, castle law allows for you to have that in Minnesota. And over 50%. We were told over 50% of homeowners in Minnesota have guns in their home. So for you to charge in and bully this boy and kill him dead, you're dead wrong. So that's the problem with that.
Well, even that, like they claim the gun, but they shouldn't have been in the first place. A no-knock warrant is one of the first things to have to fight as far as that system is concerned. So, like I said, I think it's incredible. You guys are warriors. You, Miss Karen Wells, you guys are warriors, and that is not anything to shake a stick at. And then you have God on the whole opposite side. But in between, you also got the Sherman Welleses and the Reverend Al Sharptons and the other people. So I'm thinking about Ben Crump. I'm thinking about these other folks that have also glammed onto this because they see the injustice. How did you elicit the help of some of these high level attorneys or did they come to y'all? How did that work?
So when I got the call from Karen that Amir was gunned down by the police, she didn't know he was deceased yet. I knew because his father had called Andrew. but I didn't tell her. What I told her is I need to get you to Minnesota tonight because it was one of the cold. This was in February of 2022. It was one of the of 2/2. It was one of the coldest days of the year. Like they were shutting down airports. It was that vortex,
Polar
weather
vortex, yeah.
going on, and so literally had to talk her on the phone to get there. And I said to her, I said, while you're getting there, I said, I'm gonna get an attorney for you. I said, are you good with that? And she said yes. And then I called Amir's dad and I said, I'm gonna get an attorney for Kieran. Do you want the same attorney or you're gonna get your own? He said he'll go with the same. I said, and I'm gonna call Ben's office because that's who was on the ground in Minnesota because George Floyd had already happened. Dante Wright had just happened. His things was going through the court. Remember the thing?
Yeah.
So I knew the attorneys that were there were Ben Crump and that whole team. And so that's what I called. And the interesting thing is, as I'm calling them, I said, I need my sister's son was just murdered. She's on her way there. I need somebody to meet her. And they was like, well, we was trying to get in touch with the family. I said, this is who I want you to get in touch with, and I'm gonna turn it over. And then I got out of it. But what people need to understand is even in having those attorneys, they work for you.
Yeah.
Don't get so caught up in the hype. They work for you. You have to tell them what to do. Like we were, excuse my French, in their ass throughout. Andrew was like, I'm watching this body cam. Do you know what happened? It was constantly on their nerve, and you have to do that. And so that's what people need to understand. So when you get a person like Ben who's out there doing this fight, they call him the Black U.S. Attorney General of the U.S. for Black people. He's connected with Al Sharpton. So they have this whole media thing that they're doing, and you see it every time. And so that's how we got with Reverend Al Sharpton, and that's how you get with all of these. That's how we got on all of the TV shows Karen was on, MSNBC, CNN,
Roland Martin.
all the shows. Yeah. It's because a situation of this magnitude always goes national, but then we connect with those people. And we was very intentional about telling the narrative.
Yes.
I'm a graduate of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln with my journalism degree.
Hey, news gang.
This is it. We tell the narrative.
Right.
We didn't want them to tell it because it's sensationalism. I understand that. I was like, no, we control the narrative. And we kept pulling it back from them. Like we would say, no, that's not true. Tell the truth. We're going to demand that you tell the truth.
Perfect. I'm so glad you brought this point out because there is a lane for the way that the Reverend Al Sharpton and Ben Crump and them did things in order to get this national attention. That's important. But the message is that you still have to have your journalism chops and your authenticity to be able to tell the truth and remember that they work for you and you got to make sure that they stay on track. That is a very important point. I'm so glad you brought that out. A lot of us are seeing the hype and the stuff on TV. It's so good to be able to understand what's really behind that and what really makes that work is the fact that you are diligent with your storytelling. That's important to us.
It's work. We're not gonna lie. Amir was murdered in 2022. This is 4 years. This is us 4 years of fighting. So the first fight was, to your point, you said we have to fight qualified immunity. I mean, not qualified, no knocks. That was the first fight. So you're gonna see this journey that we take you through. You'll see that, like us going and fighting and doing the getting no knocks changed in Minnesota, so that it was a part of their big bill, crime bill. But they limit the no knocks that will happen in Minnesota, and those no knocks would have to be in extreme circumstances if somebody was being held hostage.
A hostage situation.
That was Kieran's and Buddy's first victory. So that was the first one. The second one was the one where the judge, like when we went up against the judge, and the judge said he doesn't qualify for qualified immunity. And when he said that, I mean, he actually put
on
it in
record
in his paperwork. They were up in arms. So of course they're going to go to appellate court, and then the appellate court, 3 of them was like, they was actually trying to tell them how to fight. Like you guys, y'all should have came out this way, but because y'all didn't, we have to rule in their favor. And they said, listen, we got to go all the way to the Supreme. And the Supreme Court, that ruling came on January 26th of this year. That just happened. And the Supreme Court said the family of Amir Locke can sue the city of Minneapolis. Because two things going to happen. Whether you're going to win no matter what. I always tell my sister, if we lose, we win, because nationally everybody know about Amir's story and they're going to know about this qualified immunity, and it's going to change. If we lose, they still going to know about it. Whether we win or whether we lose, they going to know about it.
Right.
So you win no matter what. We were ready to go to the Supreme Court. But I said I would be surprised if the Supreme Court takes it, because that means it's going to impact the entire
whole world, and they would never do it.
And they ain't going to want to do that.
They would never take the chance. Qualified immunity is very interesting because you can go after the officer directly. You go after his pension, his house. So that's what Karen and Buddy can do right now. They can go directly after Mark Hanneman and sue the city of Minneapolis. There's something to be said about that, because again, other jurisdictions, other circuits can glean from our case and take it to the next level. But unlike Linda, Buddy, and Karen, because I knew a little bit, I just knew the law. It scared me when, this is the only time I got scared, when the Minneapolis Police and Peace Officers Association stepped in and took the case, because they so viciously gangster and they just do everything so corrupt. So I thought for sure, but then we had Ben Crump, we had Jeff Storm and Tony Ramanucci, and I said, well, we got some gangsters in our corner too.
Right.
Let them fight. And Jeff came back and kicked their butts, man. And there's something to be said about the visuals and the aids that go into this. So again, qualified immunity is more than just, you disrupt their entire world when you do that, and we need more of that. So and maybe you'll think twice before you go in and shoot somebody.
Right.
Yeah, they talk about the blue shield and the blue line. That qualified immunity is the shield. That is the shield. So you're directly attacking the shield, which many of them hide behind. So I guess as it stands right now, aside from allowing and clearing the path for a lawsuit, and as you mentioned, Mark Henneman to be held accountable directly, does this set a list of qualifications for qualified immunity? Oftentimes we kind of see it used as a blanket, like because he's a cop, he has qualified immunity.
I made the movie for the sake of locking him up. We want him in jail. He committed a crime. He killed somebody. He should be held accountable. I went in full-fledged thinking, I want to show this thing because he deserves to be in jail. The attorneys, excuse me, what is it? Mariotti's office.
She's the Hennepin County attorney.
She can bring charges against him right now. Attorney General Keith Ellison can bring charges. In fact, the governor can force Attorney General Keith Ellison and or Mariotti to bring charges against Mark Hanneman right now, now that the Supreme Court has ruled in our favor. Absolutely. So we'll see how it goes.
So that's why when Karen says all forms of justice, and even tonight we have a call of action. It's just not you come into the movie. It's here's the call of action. Write the attorney's office.
Yes.
Send a letter and tell them, I just watched this film, and based on what I watched, y'all need to charge. So if you believe that, we'll have pieces of paper that we hand out that we're telling people, what you saw, if you believe the officer should have been charged, we're asking you to send a letter to both the Hennepin County Attorney's Office and Attorney General's Office in Minnesota, and we give you the information for it.
We talk about film streams being the third space where important things happen. This is one of the most important things I've ever seen happening at film streams. No Knock, No Charge is playing tonight. Show up at 6:00 so you can talk to the family a little bit. The movie starts at 6:30, and then plan to stay after and get your letter writing on and get your and listen to some more knowledge on this. I love the call to action. I love the fact that you're using this opportunity to bring some folks together, not just to understand and see the story, but also to be a part of the team and the family and the help that we can do all we can do to try to get some justice here. So I really appreciate that you guys have done this. You're my heroes. You know, this is the kind of work that we do. So I'm watching this play out in a way. we are trying to tell people right now. We on our show we call it the Love Supreme, the art that you produce. That's the battle. It's showing somebody something and putting something together in form of a film, teaching people something. There's a lot that's gone into this, and the way that you even knew how to unlock the footage in media encoder and all the things that went down, man, is the fight. Is the fight. It is making the judges and Supreme Court and everybody rule in that favor because you're using your media skills to be able to do this. It's the biggest commercial for what we trying to do over here that I can think of with our content creator camp. So I'm highly impressed and just encouraged by you guys, and we'll always do everything that we can do to be a part of this fight and push Sherman Wells' as family to us around here.
Man.
His family, our family, as far as we concerned. Yeah.
Film Streams, because I was told, is downtown, not the one in Dundee. I want to make sure people are clear on that because people keep saying, well, I think it's at Dundee. It's not. It's downtown. And also, you do need tickets. You cannot just show up. And last I checked, which was Friday, there was only 20 left. So just keep that in mind. If you want to come, make sure that you got your tickets. And don't just show up, because the people with tickets are the ones that will actually get in, and it's down to Film Streams downtown.
There you go. And there's the QR code right there on the screen. If you can catch that, try to get your tickets now. We hope that you can do that and get in there. And I would even suggest if you don't get a ticket, man, go to Film Streams and have a beer and sit in the lobby and wait for them to come out and talk some more. Just be there and sign and be able to sign things and do what you need to do in order to be able to send some letters out and tell people that they need some justice. Be a part of that. Be a part of all of that. Is there any place that they can get a hold of y'all if they want to do that and can't come to the film? Is there any you guys got a centralized email address or something to get more information on, brother? On the
you can go to Tylerman. It's tylermanfilms.com, and it's TYLER as in Mary AN films FILMS at gmail.com, and I have a section in there where you can reach out to me. Just on the email, then that'll be great.
There you go.
Also, someone asked about watching the film. Some of our viewers, not all of our viewers in Omaha, I think one of them commented from San Diego and said that they're interested in watching the film. Will there be other showings, or will you be posting the link somewhere?
Lord willing, we can. My ultimate goal is to get us on a streaming platform, a Netflix, Hulu, AMC. Lord willing, and while we're on this platform, we don't have a home for the film yet, and we do need one. And I prefer it to be a licensing agreement rather than just on
Tubi or something.
Tubi or something like that. So that's the direction that we're headed. So just be patient with us so we can get that in order. But outside of that, if you have a school or community, we would love to come down and screen for your students, and we can do it that way as well. The same way that Linda and Karen made this possible.
Love it. Shout out to UNO, shout out to Film Stream, shout out to y'all, and shout out to Miss Karen Wells. I'm sorry that we weren't able to catch her here, but I highly suggest you go back and check out Brother Sherman Wells, Sherman L. Wells. You can catch him on Facebook, YouTube. She was talking to him last night. And broke a lot down, and you'll be able to hear a little bit more from her too. But I'm glad that y'all showed. I'm glad y'all came. I'm glad we heard from you guys. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. This is home for me. So
she's born and raised here.
I wanted to come back. We have a lot of family here, so we were intentional. I told Karen we'll bring it here so that we can let the family see. So
love it.
Definitely. Actually, Brother Wells Lavelle is giving you some love in the chat, saying a shout out to his childhood bestie. So that the community.
Yes, he's coming tonight. That is.
That's what's up. Right on. Well, I hope we get to see you, and let's do it again. That's the one thing about them guys over there at UNO and Film Streams. Shout out to as a matter of fact, I think we supposed to have the doctor on here pretty soon too. Shout out to RG that hooked us up with the lady who's running the Black Dr. Cynthia Robinson.
Dr. Cynthia Robinson. Again, I want to thank UNO because they are actually hosting it and they're bringing it to Film Streams. And it was Black Studies from UNO, led by Dr. Cynthia Robinson. And then it was the Sociology, Anthropology Department, and the Political Science Department. All of them came together to support us bringing it here.
Can I say this before we close out? Amir's story is not a black child's story. This is an American story. I want to make sure I say that. I purposed myself in keeping race out of it while creating the film, even though we're dealing with a young black man, right? But I just want people to know this could have been any of us. ICE right now is running down on people in their cars, pulling them out of cars, shooting folk in the back, doing all kinds of stuff under the authority of the federal government. This could have been any of us. And to have the psyche or the mindset to treat it like a black film. This is not a black film. This is not a DEI moment. This is an American moment. So I want white, black, Mexican, Puerto Rican police officers. I encourage law enforcement to treat it as a tool for the people to train with, and what you should not do. So there's something to be said about Amir's case. It's bigger than the black boy got killed. It's more than that.
Right.
This is about the origins of America and how you stop killing people with these no-knock warrants, but particularly just running down on people and just doing what you want to do and claiming that you have qualified immunity to do it. So I want people to know that, and I hate to force that hand because we definitely a pro-black family no matter what. But I hate to force that hand because I want white folk to come out, Mexican, Puerto Rican. I want you to see this film because it's not just coded in one shade of brown.
And so what I would say to that is I want you to approach it from humanity.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like if police and other people see us as humans, then and have compassion and empathy, they wouldn't do certain things to people.
What did Buddy say?
So that's what, because the one thing about this movie, when you see it, you can't unsee it. When you see the movie, you can't unsee it. Mm-hmm. And so I want people to say, not like when I talk about it from a mother standpoint. So here's the thing. From a mother standpoint, you're going to look at it and be like, wow. From a black male standpoint, you're going to look at it and be like, I have black hair, or that has happened to me. So we're approaching this from our life experiences. What I want even the police officers to be able to look at it and be like, that is somebody's child. Because what Buddy says and Amir's dad says, he goes, how is it that you can kill my child and go home and kiss yours? Be okay with it. Because what happens is what's missing in all of that is humanity.
Right. Mm-hmm. Going back to the Casual Killing Act, and the lack of viewing us as humans, chattel, and even I'm glad you made the comparison to what's happening with ICE. There's been some, there's actually right now laws as far as Trump's administration being supported in even warrantless. We're talking about no knock. Even in the no knock, you still got to get a warrant. They're pushing for warrantless search and seizure right now. So what you're doing in the fight, even 4 years later, can actually be very similar to your point, to not just our fight as far as black folk and our relationship with the police, but in America. And we're seeing this authoritarianism kind of creeping in. It could be a tool.
The interesting thing about all of that, I have to say this, is stop being complacent. Get out there and vote. Get in offices where you can make change, not just on the national, but on the local level. It is important. Don't sit up and complain about what's going on if you was never at the voting box. And don't sit up and be passive and say, well, I don't like either candidate, because there is the lesser of two evils. We have some responsibility in this. Faith without works is dead. We have to do something, or we can just sit back and let life happen to us. Well, we're choosing to, I may not have liked either candidates, but I was like, I got to get in and vote. But I didn't vote for the one y'all voted for. So what I'm saying is we have more power. We have numbers behind us, and we don't know how to collectively come together because we're fighting each other. Stop infighting and come together, because when you come together, we can destroy them. And they understand that. They understood that back in slavery. That's why they kept us from reading. They understood our power, because they understand if they know, they're going to do better. So that's why it's designed. So that's absolutely true.
Yep.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar introduced legislation on behalf of Amir.
I'm glad that you posted that, by the way.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, she went to her point about voting. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar had introduced legislation on behalf of Amir to ban no-knock warrants across the country. Mm-hmm. So if you have a Republican person in that's not willing to even look, if the Senate or the House isn't even willing to look at her legislation, how do you get it in? You have to vote. We have to vote that stuff in. Same thing with the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. While Joe Biden passed portions of it with executive order, and Karen and Buddy were actually at the White House when they did that, nonetheless, Trump came in and dismissed it. So you're dealing with a mindset of how do you get this stuff in, and you have to vote. You have to vote. There would be no no-knock warrant situation in Minnesota had people voted in the House legislation. They say this, had the House and the Senate voted on no-knock warrants, because there was a promise by the mayor of Minneapolis to not even use them at all. And instead, he went against the grain and allowed St. Paul and Minneapolis to use them anyway. So it has to be in writing.
And that was, Amir was murdered in 2022. They had passed no knocks, but it wasn't across the state.
Yes.
In 2020, after George Floyd. So I when we went to a hearing, I said, imagine had they passed that no knock, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about Amir.
Mm-hmm. He was on the 7th floor. If there was a gun in the dwelling, what are you gonna do? Just flush it down the toilet, throw it out the window? What are we going?
Because that's the history of no knocks. It was for drugs. It's not, that's why they did no knocks, to be able to go in, because they were worried that they would get rid of the evidence. But that was not the case in this situation. You're talking about for property. He lost his life for property.
Mm. And Amir wasn't in the hood now. Let me say this. He was in a downtown dwelling across from the Hilton Hotel. They were in downtown Minneapolis in a high-rise building where the rents are $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. So it wasn't like he was in the hood and they getting high and all the rest of it. Amir was downtown Minneapolis when he was murdered. So that's why I say this affects all of us. They didn't care who he was. They ran up in there like they the mob. And there were 56 officers on site that murdered Amir. And that's between two police departments, St. Paul and Minneapolis SWAT. So there's something to be said about the corruption that goes on with this.
Man. Amazing. I wish we can stay on and keep talking about it, but we're going to have to let you go.
You'll hear tonight. You'll hear some more tonight. Absolutely.
And you did get us up early, so I am a little bit happy.
Well, thank you.
So, I feel that. I appreciate you getting up early with us, though, and staying with us so long, too, and breaking some of this stuff down. We literally got to have you back because the information that we got here, my head's already spinning. I'll be spinning for days on this, and I know there's a lot more to go through. And it seems that it's interesting to us because it's tying into so many things that we talk about every year, all year long. The context of what you guys are talking about. There's so many answers, so many things. At the end of every show, we always are like, well, what are we going to do? What are we going to do about this stuff? Mm-hmm. And to get examples of somebody that's doing some stuff, shooting the film, working to get the footage, showing up at the courts, showing up when the laws get changed, getting the word out to vote, everything that you guys is doing, it's all tying together for me.
I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. At a screening in Chicago at my film festival, out on a film festival, and this is when we first showed it, and everything kind of came out. The Soul Children of Chicago were there, Dr. Walt Whitman and the Soul Children, and they had made a dedication to the family. But children as young as 5 years old all the way up to 90 watched this film, and they did not leave. Now, as graphic as this film is, the children came out, and I have them on camera. I was asking them questions like, what did you think? And I would like to do that tonight. What did you think of the film? And I remember one child saying, my brother is the same age as Amir, and he sleeps on his friend's couch all the time. I'm worried. Now, these are babies saying this now, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. There's something to be said about the youth. They can handle it. So if we say have tickets out there and you could bring your youth with you, I understand it is graphic if you feel like they can handle it. I say that because it affects them. It really does. Law enforcement don't necessarily care how old you are. If they see you got this gun, they're trained to get home to their families. So they just shoot first, ask questions later, and expect the police officers association to defend them or the unions to defend them, and they get away with saying they feared for their lives. So that's why I want people to understand that, and there's no age demographic on this, although it is. I do give a trigger warning and all the rest of it for the film.
Well, they just passed laws to detain 9-year-olds around here, so I guess we better start equipping these babies.
Yeah. Detaining
Y'all passed a law to
9-year-olds.
Detain a 9-year-old?
9-year-olds?
In Nebraska, they're detaining 9-year-olds
and charge 12-year-olds as adults now.
Charge 12-year-olds as adults?
Hell no.
Yeah.
So I guess we better start equipping these babies to understand what's happening.
Definitely.
That's a whole nother documentary. Jesus.
Let's talk.
Yeah, definitely.
There's some things we got on the list to document here in Omaha, man. And so, like I said, you guys are my heroes right now. We'll definitely be tapping in and have you back, talk more, maybe even work on a project, because it's all in the same fight. It's all in the same fight. So we appreciate you. We're going to dig in. Thank you for coming. Please let Miss Karen know that we really appreciate her coming as well. Karen Wells, mother of Amir Locke, was on a little earlier, but the gremlins got us. Just like them gremlins get it. As soon as we start talking truth, them gremlins get us.
I'm telling you.
Feed start cutting off.
Yes.
Yeah. It
Big
ain't the
brother
first
is
time.
watching.
Yeah.
He watched too.
I heard that. Yeah. So I appreciate it. And again, the film tonight, get there at 6:00. If you get first of all, get to the QR code there and get you some tickets. Go to Film Streams and get the tickets, because it might sell out. And so definitely do that first. But remember, this show is starting tonight. It's 6:00. The doors open 6:30. The film starts. Plan to stay after so you can talk to the family. As you can see, it ain't just talking about the film. There's knowledge there. There's a lot of knowledge, a lot of background knowledge, and there's a call to action. There's a call to action. So get ready, bring your pen, get ready to write some letters, do all the things, and go check it out. And we'll keep you posted on whether or not this happens again, if there's another showing somewhere, and if we got contacts too of people that would love to probably school contacts and stuff to show it again somewhere. So I know you guys are down for that. We'll definitely try to put you in touch if we have any bites on that. But again, thank you so much, Andrew and Linda Tyler. We appreciate you. We put the email address in the chat for people to contact you if they got any questions. TylerManFilms@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yep. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. We appreciate it. See you tonight.
Sounds good. See you tonight.
Yeah.
Peace. All right. There you go.
Man, powerful situation. Yeah, man, so many layers, so many things to it, but I definitely appreciate them taking the time to speak to us. If you can make it, definitely go check it out. I'm sure there'll be more discussed, more knowledge dropped at tonight's event. Again, shout out to UNO, shout out to Film Streams. It's going down.
And I tell you, bro, I'm gonna take a break and come back, because for the first time ever, I'm feeling like RG in them. I'd have sat for another hour on that.
Oh man, okay.
3 hours, bro. When you think later on about the gems that just dropped,
I mean, I definitely got some thoughts. Hey.
We're gonna get into it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning. Quick break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Paul B, Buddy the Guy.
We have to show them by our actions that we do not intend to play the role that the Jews play.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back for Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Hall B, Buddy the God.
Hey.
I have to take a shot of NyQuil here in a minute. Woo-wee.
For the daytime.
Today is the 27th of April. Here's all the deadlines for, we were just talking about voting, getting your vote on. Shout out.
Man.
Deadline for mail voter registration to be postmarked. Deadline for voter registration at agencies. Deadline for voter registration at DMV office. Deadline for voter registration by deputy registrar at 6 p.m. Deadline for voter registration form to be delivered to the election office by someone other than the person registering, for the person to be registered to vote in a upcoming election, 5 p.m. And then deadline for online voter registration prior to midnight. This is today.
Got to midnight.
So yeah. As you can see, if you haven't done any of these things, you gotta get with it so we can get on with the primaries. The voting is going to be very important. Shout out to Waishaw, Tarlan, who put this out too. Nebraska, your online and by mail voter registration deadline for the primary election is Monday, April 27th, today. So something to look for, look at, most definitely. Shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney, who's holding a town hall coming up on the 30th. This is coming up Thursday, North Omaha LD11 Town Hall meeting. Join us to recap 2026 legislative session, discuss interim studies, and dialogue with Senator McKinney on other related community issues. This will be happening at the North Omaha Visitor Center. Shout out to the Black City Hall. North Omaha Visitor Center, 2205 North 24th Street. Man, the Deuce is going down Thursday, 30th April on 6 o'clock. So shout out to him for putting that on. Don't forget, we have a special guest, Miss Powell, Denise Powell, who's going to join us on Wednesday. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on there, what her run for office is all about, and what she's all about. Get your questions ready. This is an ongoing thing we've been doing here with the candidates coming on and talking to them about what's happening, what they're going to do when they get in them offices.
That part.
We got to know. And then speaking of film streams, we're going to be talking to Amanda Kephart on Friday about things that are happening at film streams. As you can see, film streams is a very important space. Where very important films are being shown and very important conversations are being had as well. Shout out. Appreciate them. Also, key conversations with Mary Ewing. This is happening at Habitat for Humanity. This is going to be about some housing. I highly suggest you check this out if you can. On the 30th, it's going to be at 1229 Millwork Avenue, Suite 301. This is Habitat Omaha is bringing together homeowners, neighbors, and friends to discuss Mary Ewing's current initiatives for the city, including affordable housing priorities, the Omaha Streetcar Project, and the Year of the Neighbor Initiative. It's going down, so appreciate that happening as well. And then don't forget to put this on your calendar. Make sure you go to the 19th Annual Rebuilding the Village Conference and Revive Black Business Expo, May 8th, 2026. It's going down. You can go to Empowerment Network and register there. Get your tickets and go down. I highly suggest you be a part of this and see what is actually going on with them and all the other businesses in the network. It's going to be super important. And you did see Cat Williams is coming, right, at the Baxter, May 1st.
I like that.
Golden Age tour. He's going down. He's cowboying out here. I see. This is what's up. Okay.
Yeah, that image is interesting.
Very much.
Yeah.
Got some cotton picking in the background there, and
yeah.
plenty of owners. Okay, the Golden Age tour, May 1st. We'll see what Cat Williams got to say. But yeah, big time people coming to Omaha, man. Patty LaBelle gonna be here. Smokey Robinson coming.
Mono Neon.
Arcades, Mono Neon. Yeah, this summer's
Killer
going
Mike.
down. Killer Mike gonna be at Maha.
Yes, it's happening.
With what was the name of that band?
Wet leg.
I almost said wet draws. I know I'm tired.
He tired, boss. He tired.
Man. Thanks for everybody who's joining us, man. There were so many people in the chat, man. I see Replenish, the vocalist, saying qualified immunity is crazy. What's going on, bro? Appreciate you. Sherman Wells in the chat. That's what's up. That's what's up. Also, Sid Kelly said, I'm in San Diego. How can I watch the doc? We were talking about watching that. Yep. Say Biko Kwanzaa says, I love the way he dropped history. 1669. Wow. 1669 was family lost their loved one by a cop in Omaha. 1669. Wow. That's interesting, man. Much love to you too, brother. Replenish. Carol Warner said that's deep. She's in the chat. Appreciate that. Brother McGaw said truth. That's what's up. You guys are in here today. Cheryl West is in the chat. Good morning. The laws and how the Douglas County attorney determine how and when the families of attorneys receive information are different from Minnesota's. True.
Yep.
True. That's what I was trying to cut in and ask that. Is that a law that the body cam footage is supposed to be given to the family? Is that a law for us here too? Love to go find out what's up there. So, RG was talking about us, Dr. Cynthia Robinson, my next door neighbor. I appreciate you giving me that tip. Definitely going to try to have her on, talk about some of these things they're doing there too. Sherman Wells says, be prepared for this family. Heard that. Get ready. It's going down. Thanks for everybody that joined us. I'm sorry I didn't get to all of your comments. I see Colby. Yeah, bro. Black Dynamite said, Mono Neo coming. Not just Mono Neo. Not just Mono Neon. Mohini Day. I don't know if you see her down there in the corner, bro, but Mohini Day, Frank McComb, Richie Love.
Man, Keon Harold.
The Bar
get down too.
Noma Fest 5 is coming. We'll have to put somebody on talk about Noma Fest 2. There's just too many things happening. So we are 5 minutes past time already and didn't get to half the stuff that we wanted to, but I'm not feeling bad about it because that was a conversation that really, really, really was needed and enlightening to say the least. We're going to be talking about EGOT Corner. PGOT. Let's imagine putting the P on the front of this. Imagine putting the P on the front of this. We didn't get to talk about it today, but we want to. Maybe we'll talk more about it Love Supreme Friday, but we feel like the deuce is going to be PGOT Corner. As you can see, EGOT means Emmys, Grammys, Oscars, Tonys. There's only a few artists out there that have won all 4 EGOTs. Viola Davis is one of them. Elton John, Whoopi Goldberg, John Legend. These are people that have won all these awards in all these different categories. So, you think Emmys it was Emmys for the plays, Grammys for the music, Oscars for the film, Tonys for the stage.
Mm-hmm.
So put a P on the front of that, Pulitzer for the journalists.
I think you can also there's Emmys for like TV too, like daytime TV, talk show TV.
Right?
Yep.
Talk show. Yep. That's what it is. Yeah, I think right. Emmys is TV. Tony's is stage. That's what it is. Yeah.
Oscars is film.
Oscars is film. You know what the Grammys is?
Music. And that Pulitzer. That's that pen game.
It's that pen game. That news gang stuff.
Man. Oh. and that poetry. That you know what I'm saying. That poet laureate game.
Come on, man. All this is happening right here on the Deuce. Babies are getting trained to do all them things right here on the Deuce. We could be churning out stars that can win PGOT.
Really could, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Really could. I was actually having a conversation with some friends here and just realizing how normal and actually taken for granted it is for, people from Atlanta to grow up and see, like, it's a thing to be in high school and see a classmate blow up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure y'all remember the Nene whipping Nene, buddy of mine went to high school, or actually middle school with Silento. And just like the mentality of that, to like know that it's possible to actually see it before you. It plays a big role. And there is enough talent in Omaha to replicate that as far as building the next stars, building the next wave. Just got to support it. Man. So,
interesting.
PGOT Corner, man. That's hey, let's normalize it. They can do it too.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all. We're also gonna talk about MUD raising our water bill here, but that'll happen on Wednesday. Yeah, that'll happen on Wednesday. And again, Wednesday we have Denise Powell that's going to join us on Wednesday. We'll continue the conversation over there as well for some of these other things we didn't get to, like MUD. We've been talking OPPD all this time, but the MUD been low key raising the water bill too. So we got to talk about it for sure. And many more things. Thanks for joining us today and allowing us to stay a little bit later than we agreed upon ending the show. It's 9:08 right now. If you believe in the concept of time and live in Omaha, Nebraska, it's supposed to be a little bit wet out today, but not too cold. So, keep that in mind. Drive slow. Roads are slick with, just rain pulling up the oils from the streets. So be careful. Take care of yourselves. I know there's something going around now. I got it. I got a sore throat right now. I'm about to go take some NyQuil and chill out for a minute. And so, put your mask on. I'm about to, if I got to go out, the mask is coming on because we got to keep each other all right around here.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
I do want to share a last thought. I appreciate Brother Andrew kind of going back into the history. You know that's man. I'm all about that. And was actually having a conversation with Mama God and just put some things in perspective. Just some food for thought before we get out of here. As far as preparing to fight. Of course, Monday we try to set our intentions and get our mind right for whatever it is that's ahead. And for me, one big thing of preparing for what's ahead is looking back and putting things in perspective and looking at Jim Crow, looking at the nadir, looking at what we are up against right now. And it kind of hit me that Trump is taking us back to the 50s. Of course, we know Trump is a symptom of a larger problem. But thinking of Trump Elkin, like where he was born, Trump was born in 1946. Jim Crow era didn't end till 1964, 65. Which means the first 20 years of this man's life. I'm sure he remembers some semblance, and especially if he has Alzheimer's or dementia, he might be going back. He might think it's now. As far as Jim Crow. And this is the president of the United States. So, we didn't get to get into it much, but another layer to the whole Miller Park conversation that I am paying attention to is this idea of private and public partnerships, which is a part of Project 25. We got to talk about it. What does that mean? What does that look like? What is really going on in this nation, and where are we going? And are we equipped to fight it? So with that, just a little food for thought. History don't necessarily always repeat, but it sure do rhyme. So,
man,
study up, because as you see, as that brother laid out, even laws that were established in 1669 can still rear their ugly heads in 2026.
Craziness. Thanks to our special guest, Karen Wells, mother to Amir Locke, also Linda Tyler and her husband, Anthony Tyler, the filmmakers of the film that's being shown tonight at Film Streams, No Knock, No Charge, and also the family members of Amir Locke as well, aunt and uncle. Appreciate them coming on and dropping so many gems. If you missed any parts of this show, please go back and check out what that brother had to say. What the sisters, everybody had to say there. It was incredible. Some of the things that they brought out. We'll be vibing off of some of them gems they dropped on us for a while. Like I'm seeing how it connects to so many things we've already been talking about. We appreciate it. Appreciate you, brother Sherman Wells. So you think you might know now? I heard that, bro. Appreciate it. Also, I appreciate you guys who joined us and came in with the comments. I'm sorry I didn't get to all of them, but we'll go back and check them out. Like I said, share the show. If you miss any parts, YouTube, like and subscribe when you get over there. Pop says, man, what a show. Thank you for bringing us such powerful content and enlightenment. Loving me some First Sky Omaha. See you Wednesday. Appreciate you, Pops.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Pops. RG, I'm going to stay inside, make sure I don't get that wet leg. That's for sure. Shout out to Wet Leg, man. Hey, learn about a new band here. We'll see what's up.
Got Killer Mike opening it for them, We'll see. We'll see.
No, they messed up there, but is what it is. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you on Wednesday. Take care of yourselves. Oh, shout out to the Maha Tribe elders for allowing us to speak on this land, be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to you, the elders, our elders as well, letting us speak before you. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, letting us speak with you. Thank you so much. Please tell a friend, spread the word, share the show, and we'll join us back on Wednesday when we talk to candidate, Senate. What's she running for?
Congress,
congressional,
second district.
Second District Congressional candidate Denise Powell. Put some respect on her name. She'll be here on Wednesday, and we'll talk to her. Get your questions ready. Until then, peace, y'all. Peace.
He tired, boss. Let's get up out of here.
I'm sick and tired. I'm tired of being sick and tired.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the Red